morning to everybody. Welcome to the Fiverific live craft and chat. You see an empty table here. There's a reason it's empty. Are my hands swelling around, or did this camera freeze like last week? We don't want that to happen again. Can you hear me? Can you see me? All that sort of stuff. So that's all good to know. Welcome to the chat, everybody. I'm trying out some new old software. Does that make sense? It's software that we used to use that got like a really great upgrade, and now I'm seeing if we can use it again and see how it goes with the old computer now. Good morning to everybody in the chat. So many great things to talk about today. I have got some of the Fiverific limited colors sitting here. I've also got down here in a basket that you can't see. I've also got there's a word for it. Oh, the basket of the Charlotte's Dream blanket that I'm working on. Hey Christine, the video is working well. Thank you so much, you guys. Let me know if it gets hinky or swirly because I'm not looking at it. I'm running bare bones, bare minimum. I can't see what the screen looks like, so if things are out of shot, let me know. And also different audio, different software, and because I'm running entirely on mobile data right now, I don't have a second screen to see how it looks. So you guys need to be my eyes and ears. Blue hair, I thought it was purple. It was purple. It's gone a bit blue as it's fading, and our last over dye was blue. I look fantastic and love your hair. Oh, thank you, Andrea. I appreciate that. This is my crazy, I washed my hair last night hair that Abby was all like, oh, you're going to put something in that to tame it? And I was like, well, now that you've said something, no, is the answer. So welcome to everybody in the chat. With this new setup, I can't actually see how many of you are here. So if every now and again someone can pop in just a view count, that would be really great. It's just, I know it's not important, but it's kind of, I'm a curious person, and I can look at the end to see how many people we had watching at one time, but it gives me an idea of how many people we've got commenting versus lurking. So let's go first into the Fiverific limited colors that we had. So I've made up some little ball bands. Not everything's got their bands on it yet. So this was the oh my gosh, my brain just totally stopped. This was the charcoal latte, and I think it's because my brain does not accept that this is charcoal latte. But this was the charcoal latte in the Pegasus base. So we got some really nice speckles of brown, some softness. And then this was the same dye that we did on the DK base, on the Andromeda base. So it just picked up the speckles a bit more. I don't know. I think it just... I also remember getting way too much in there. So I've got these cute little Fiverific bands. Bands on the skeins, Kim. Sally's saying, don't forget to thumbs up and put in live chat instead of top chat. Absolutely. That's excellent advice from Sally there. So we've got these two here. There's actually only one of each of these left. The rest went last week. We've got a few of the Croton left. So the Croton came out a bit differently. In the pan, they looked really hyper colored, like really bright. Whereas because the yellow came out a lot more subtle than even I was expecting. Like I was expecting a bit of subtle yellow, but this just went that whole next step. Kim saying, I thought you wanted to keep the swing tags. I do, Kim. This is only for the Fiverific limited colors. Only the Fiverific limited colors get the band. And the swing tags are on all the normal yarns, so don't worry about that. It's totally fine. But yeah, so we've got like these amazing splashes of some beautiful color on this really soft sort of yellowy cream. I'd say cream. I wouldn't even say yellowy cream. I'd just say cream. So we've got 6 of those. So they're all slightly different. We've got some with a bit more green. So we've got one here with a bit more red. But they're all sort of, you know, you could put them all together in a project. Lindsay says, I kept thinking you were saying choco latte until you posted them. Darn my ears. It could also be darn my accent. Charcoal latte. Kim says, I like the bands. Swing tags get tangled on my shelf. I love your shelf. If anybody follows Kim on, she's posted the pictures in the Fiberific Fun Zone. So if you're a member on the Fiberific Fun Zone, you can see these photos of Kim's been, for those of you who don't know, Kim's a member of the Mystery Lace Club. And she always has always kept her Mystery Lace Clubs in boxes. But this weekend she made the big decision to just open them up and put all the yarns on her shelf. She's got a Mystery Lace Club shelf in her yarn cupboard, which I just think is the most amazing thing. I really do. I think you should make some of them, honestly. But if you're gonna curate, it's beautiful. It's totally beautiful. So we've got 26 watching and 21 likes. Thank you so much for letting me know, Helen. Freaky says the nearly empty shelves. Well, she's getting there. She's got a shelf. This is a new cupboard she's just built, Freaky Geek, and the first thing that went in was my yarn. So I feel really awesome. Hey, Black Pearl Knits, we've just been talking about your yarn. Black Pearl Knits sent in the photo that we used to dye the charcoal latte. Andrea says, are those earrings little skeins of poison ivy? As a matter of fact, they are, Andrea. That didn't sound baited at all. Black Pearl said, Nick said, best ad, wait, there was Chris Hemsworth. Oh my gosh. Kim says it's not just MLC, there's other Fiberific yarns too. Oh, thank you, Kim. I just think it's really amazing that my yarn went in first. Like that's my takeaway. That's my takeaway from that photo is empty new yarn storage and you made an entire shelf just for my yarn. That is awesome. So just so that you all know, a bit of a raspy throat today, so I've got my super duper tea going. It is the T2, I've got my tea thermos here so I can top up. It's the T2 licorice legs, which is fantastic. Where are we? Gamer Widows has joined the chat. Hey, Gamer Widows. You're loving my hair today, Black Pearl Knits. Thank you. Andrew says everyone needs a little bit of Chris Hemsworth. You're right. Everyone does need a little bit of Chris Hemsworth. That's right. It's licorice legs. Did I not say licorice legs? My brain thought I did, but maybe I didn't. Sorry, I'm just totally absorbed in the chat. I should really not do that. Okay, one of the things I wanted to talk about today was the Charlotte's Dream blanket, the crochet blanket that I've been working on. If you don't follow me over on Instagram, you really should. I've been spamming the account pretty hard with photos of what I've been doing over there. I'm just going to bend down here and grab some stuff. There we go. Oh, look. It wasn't actually planned this way, but this is the poison ivy. That matches my earrings. Kim says, you said it too. I typed it just before you said it. Okay, cool. Thank you. So, yeah, so this is, these are some of the, this is the first step. So there's 3 sections of the pattern, and these 6 squares have had, I'm just double checking that I'm not going to lie here. Yep, they've all got their edge on. These 6 squares are the first 6 of the pattern. So the pattern requires 12 colors. I made the decision to pull out the brinjal, you guys. I like it and I think it's great. There's just one small catch, which is I read the recipe I wrote for the color. It's not great. I don't know if I can repeat it. So I'm going to pull the brinjal and I'm replacing it with the violetish. Okay, so there'll still be a purple, but we're going to go with the violetish. Now, I just used my ball winder before I serviced it, so these balls are a mess, which is why I serviced my ball winder. If any of you are wondering what I'm talking about, I made a little post over on Instagram a couple of days ago, or maybe yesterday. I don't know when I did it. I did it. So we're going to replace the brinjal with the violetish. It's just a slightly lighter purple. It just pops a dash more. Also, I can definitely repeat that. Black Pearl Knits has been loving my Charlotte's Dream in progress. So, and this is, it's got a bit of dog hair on it. Sorry guys, I sit on the couch with this one. And this is how big these squares, so these guys are all about to go through to the second step, which adds on this cream line, and then their contrast, their main color as an edge, and then there's a third step after that. So this is our first 6 colors, which we've got the Blurple, the Poison Ivy, Joss, Tiff, Slimer, and Agave. So these are our first 6 colors, and I really, oh, I've got the windows open here to let a bit of air in, so it might be a bit of extra noise today. And over the other day, I actually skeined up the next 6 colors. Let me know if you want to see what the next 6 colors are. Andrea says her iPad only has 5% battery left. Andrea, do you not have a power cord for this thing? Stick its charger on. Oh my gosh. So you'll have to let me know if you guys want to see the next 6 colors. Kirby got cut off by an ad. You shouldn't get ads midstream. I don't have midstream ads set. Oh, Annie, yawn beautifully, you and IG. Oh, thank you for your comment the other day. That was beautiful. Freaky Geek, I agree with you. Get near an outlet and plug that sucker in. I totally agree. I totally agree. And your kids should know better than to touch your iPad on a Thursday. Just saying. Why would anyone not want to see Sally? Oh, we're talking about the next 6 colors. I'm not going to give away any Avengers Endgame. Want to see more yarn silly question? Okay, all right. Hang on a second, you guys. I'm going to bring up the basket so I can try and do a bit more of all of it revealed. Okay, I'll push these to the side, and we are going to go with Soulstone. Oops, sorry. Hang on. I just hit that, and I just need to check if I killed my angle. No, that worked. All right, Soulstone, then Lipstick. So we've got another pink. Then we've got Dandelion, which is a nice yellow. A brand new red called Scarlet Witch. It's a variation on Wanda. It's a bit brighter and a bit darker. Then we have this color whose name I forgot. Andrea, what did we name this color? I didn't write it down. It's a beautiful semi-solid of pinks and apricots. There's another color. Hang on, 2, 4, 5. Oh, 6. There we go. That was the 6. 2, 4. Yes, that's right. I'm looking for like the 6th ball and I couldn't find it anywhere, but here it is. It was right here. So some of these I had 100 gram skeins, and some of them I've got the mini skeins for. So they're the little 25 gram skeins. You only need 50 of each color. So, and the other thing I wanted to do was announce that I will be making a I'm going to be making a pre-purchase available for the my brain just stopped because I'm reading the comments, you guys. It's different now and it keeps catching my attention. Okay, so I'm going to be putting up the pre-purchase. If you guys want to purchase a kit, in the kit you will receive, I've just got to make one double check. So it's either 3 or 4 of the grey. So of Grizzle Grey, you'll get 3 or 4 skeins. I think it should be 3, but I've just got to double check some math. And then you'll also get 50 grams of each of the 12 colors, as well as 3 skeins of the natural as well to go with. So it'll be approximately 320 for, what did I work it out to be? It's going to be 12 or 13 skeins of hand-dyed yarn. Is that right? 12 or 13? Okay, so what it is it's approximately 320, and that gives you your 12 50 gram skeins of your colors, as well as 300 gram skeins of the grey and 300 gram skeins of the undyed. So, no, it's not Pink Lady. we were thinking of blood orange or something like that, but I don't think it's, you know, what we want. Though we had another name for it. I'll find it. I've probably written it down somewhere where I wrote the recipe, so I'll check the recipe. All right, Andrea's plugged her charging back in. It does remind me of a pink frangipani from, yeah, it does make me think a little bit of those orangey pink frangipanis. I don't mind you putting in link, Sal. That's why you've got a spanner. You just might have to battle Kim. Freaky Geek's got to go. I'm just scrolling back to have a look. Where are we? Kim does like my hair today. Thank you, Kim. Scarlet Witch. I'm so happy with Scarlet Witch. It came out to be such an intense color. It is an overnight dye though, so it takes a lot longer to make. Orange sherbet. That's what it was. It was orange sherbet. Thank you. Orange sherbet, Andrea. Can you send me a message or something to remind me? Rebecca Nelson's late, and that's totally fine, Rebecca, because based on history, the way we would have been going is only just getting started with all the crashes. But no crashes. Knock wood yet. We're just, these are the next 6 colors for our Charlotte's Dream. Sorry, my brain just is completely, I'm watching new software, everything's different. So yes, so these are the next 6 colors I'm going to be using to make the Charlotte's Dream. I was going to work on one of these today, but I finished it last night, so I'm not quite sure what I'm going to work on now. I could possibly start one of the others. I've got some cream here. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about doing this section while people are watching. How about you? How do you feel about doing crocheting or knitting where it's that bit where you've got to watch the pattern and sort of, you know, converse at the same time? I normally try to pick pretty easy patterns to do this with, but I'm a little bit, I could probably do this bit without too much hassle and go through and do that bit of all the different colors, which is what I ended up doing here. I ended up going through and choosing. I could probably weave in some ends. I've got some ends to weave in. But yeah, like, how do you go with actually doing trickier stuff into the trickier stuff while people are watching? How do you go with that? Do you avoid it like the plague? Andrea says go for it. Thanks, Andrea. I've got my little bowl of tools. So, well, I've got my, that's for another project. These are my 3mm hooks, and I've got my little chibis. And funny story about these scissors, because I have been sitting in bed crocheting. I put everything into its little basket and put it away. And last night, Tim's climbed into bed and he's like, "Are you trying to kill me? Are you literally trying to kill me?" And I was like, "Not at the moment." And it turns out that I'd left the scissors in the bed, and he got stabbed by these little tiny sharp scissors. He didn't bleed, thank goodness, but it was enough. He goes, luckily they were really cold and he felt them. So Kim loves her chibi bent needles. I think I've got the straights at the moment. I had a bent needle set. I don't know what I did with it. I've lost it. It's around somewhere. It'll be safe. It'll be in its little, it'll be in my craft room is where it'll be, which we're not talking about that because I'm getting to the point with my craft room where I'm seriously thinking I've got a punch out security window. I'm this close to just pulling the trailer up under the window, punching it out and just throwing things into the trailer and just dumping them because I'm like, I don't even know. I don't even know. Andrew says, I don't craft because I end up frogging. Instead, I'm going to get a coffee and a snack. Tell you what, guys. All right, not a sponsor, but I ordered my U-Foods delivery yesterday. This morning at 6 o'clock, 6:27, so 3 minutes before my alarm went off, I got a message to say the box was delivered and they had a photo of my front door. My dog asleep in my bed, didn't wake up. Good job, Snowy. Anyway, I had the hazelnut protein ball thing. Hazelnut. Yeah, it's I've just got the wrapper. The hazelnut protein ball just for the live chat. And seriously, it's like eating a ball of Nutella wrapped in crispy hazelnuts, like dry, like toasted hazelnuts, but without the sickly sweetness of it. Does that make sense? Anyway, delicious. I'm regretting not buying more of those. Regretting. Mine are in the Notions case. Kim says after she finishes sorting hers, she'll come and sort mine. Oh. Andrea says, I'll come in while you're at Bendigo and clean the room of doom. No, you don't need to do that. But you understand, you know, it is the room of doom. Kim says, so she's not a very good wireless doorbell. Yeah, no, not between her. She's got like these heavy sleeping hours of like, it's between sort of 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. So, you know, robbers come then. Helen's working on the newest Flora Cowl block tonight, so I'm listening and lurking. Lurking! Oh no. Yeah, Christine, it was delicious. And it was like the perfect amount. You know how sometimes you'll eat something and you'll be like, oh, I wish there was just one more bite? No, totally satisfied. Amazing. So, but yeah, I'm loving the U-Foods thing. So for those of you that don't know, I get stuck into what I'm doing and just totally forget to eat. And I have got alarms set in my phone to remind me to have lunch. And I've got all these things reminding me. And I forget. And like even when we talk about food during this live chat, I won't pack up the live chat and go and have lunch like a normal person. I'll pack up the live chat, start packing orders, get ready. I've got like another chat that I do in the afternoons, like with some, like it's a peer mentor group thing. And I get ready for that. And if I happen to have live chat, if I happen to eat anything between breakfast and afternoon tea with Abby, it's a miracle. But I found that when I had ordered the U-Foods a few weeks ago, I've just realized that the microphone is not plugged all the way in, which would explain why it was not picking it up and we're using a different microphone. Oh my gosh. Anyway, I realized a few weeks ago when I ordered the U-Foods that I had lunch every day. It wasn't an issue. I had lunch. And so I didn't. And now I reordered again just to see. Freaky Geek says that they're lurking as well. Kim and Game Widows wants to know if Kim and Andrea are available for craft room sorting. You guys, that could totally be a business for you. Allison's sewing some project bag for our group's wool fair at the end of the month. That sounds fun. Kim says you may have to pay for more flights. Where are we? Christine says at the moment I'm doing the stockinette part of my black sweater. Perfect project for live chat. It seems it. It totally seems it. I'm actually going to leave these pretty colors. Do you guys like the new selection of these colors sort of to go with? I'm just going to drape some of these other colors around so you can sort of see how they're all going to go together. Got some. I'll put that down there because we don't want the two greens together because I won't put them together on the blanket. I don't know if you can see all of these at the same time. We'll soon find out. Bit of pink, bit of poison ivy. Poke it in there between the laptop and the screen, and then a bit of blurple. What do you think? Do you think I personally love it, which is why I'm going with these. But what do you think? Do you like how all these look together? You'll have like the beautiful grey breaking them up and some of the gorgeous natural. Christine says, I often forget to eat when I'm busy too, and then I end up eating junk after the kids go to school. See, that's the other thing. Like, because I don't buy junk, because I know if it's there, I'm going to eat it. Like, there's no ifs and buts. If there's a bag of chips, or if there's like biscuits or chocolate or anything like that, if I'm hungry and can't find and I can't find something else to have it, I will literally just eat the junk. So I don't buy the junk because it just disappears really fast. And so therefore I can't find anything quick, and so I don't eat anything. So, you know, my doctor gets grumpy at me all the time. She's like, how do you expect to lose weight if you keep starving your body at random times so your body just stores everything? Because it's like, we may not get food for the next 14 hours. You love them? Hang on a second, I missed something. I just finished my current project and was featured the featured designer on the IG story today. I'm so flattered and in a great mood. Congratulations, Annie. That's brilliant. That is just so flattering. It's such a compliment. Bub loves these colours together. Thank you, Bub. Freaky Geek says, I buy chips every 3 or 4 months. Yeah, I do the same. I got a thing for grain waves, and so every now and again I'll get grain waves and a jalapeno hummus. It's like, yum. Or a beetroot dip. I don't know what it is about the grain waves and the beetroot dip. It's just so good. Black Pearl Knit says, loving the colours of the yarn and also oh my. Well, that's awesome. I'm so glad you guys like these colours. Because like Andrea knows full well how, and you guys are probably pretty used to it, how not confident I am in my own decisions. We're like, maybe not. And then I just go ahead and do it. And, it works. My natural instinct is good. I just don't trust it, which it is ridiculous. I do understand. I'm going to weave in some ends. I've been very good, you guys. Look. The reality is the ends are just, all of them have just these two here, because I've done all the other ends, or at least I think I've done all the other ends. I'm about to find out. The ball on the top left, is it orange and yellow? The ball on the top left, this one, it's sort of a orangey pinky color. It's a semi-solid, so it's probably the only color that's not a single tone, which is why I was a bit umming and ahhing about it, but I think it'll actually just be sit really pretty in it as well and just create a little bit of extra movement. Is this the one you're wondering about, Freaky Geek? This is the one. Is it, can you see it a bit better? I'm just going to just check on here. So it's like an orangey pink. I'll put that back down. Okay, so I've been really good trying to remember to weave in the ends as I go, otherwise I will suffer the consequences. Because there's so many ends. Sally says I have a blister on my finger where I hold the yarn, so I can't crochet right now. You can't put like some micropore or something over it to cover it? I mean, I don't, sometimes your body says, just stop doing that. Kim says, all of your solids are still tonal anyway, so I don't think it'll be out of place. I agree with you, because I do prefer a semi-solid than a solid. And they are still technically, because look at that. That's a definite semi-solid. That's a semi-solid. See how you got the different shades of the same color? So yeah, I think you're right. Okay. Now, so I'm going to be putting up a pre-order for this, just more to gauge the interest of what you guys are thinking, because I've had a few messages asking where it is and all that sort of stuff. Also, some messages asking where the pattern is for the cowl, and I had to pull it back because I made a mistake, so I've got to fix it. And so I will fix the cowl pattern and then I'll get it back up. So just bear with while I, rectify mistakes. I had a fun day yesterday, which is, I knew there was a Margcraft price rise coming. What I didn't realize, it had been and gone. And so I had to madly go in and change all the pricing on my website for the Margcraft products. It's a contracted agreed price. So I have to list what they told me to list. And I didn't realize I was about a week late. And so luckily, Margcraft were awesome and understanding that I just misread the email. And so I had to get that done yesterday, which used up half a day. And now this afternoon or tomorrow afternoon, I'll be dyeing the Mystery Lace Club. I was hoping to do a bit early in the week, but it's been one of those weeks where I'm just a bit meh. And so I don't like to dye when my brain's in that place because I'm never happy with the yarn. Where are we? Caffeinated Crafters tonight. Yes, Caffeinated Crafters tonight, you guys. You've just reminded me, Kim, I need to set up that I have an event that I set up a couple of weeks ago for the last Caffeinated Crafters, and what I meant to do is actually have it run every fortnight, and I forgot. So I will set it to run. But yes, definitely Caffeinated Crafters tonight. If you are local in the Brisbane area and willing to travel out to Browns Plains, we meet up at the Browns Plains Village Square Coffee Club. It's the one not in the shopping centre. It's a great little coffee club, great food, good service, get lots of light, and they give us lots of space to play in. So we have a really nice, I've just realised that's not where you can see it. And so we meet up there every first and third Thursday of the month. Kim says, but it's not fortnightly. You're right, Kim, it's not fortnightly. It's the first and third Thursday of the month. But I think of it in my brain. I'm like, is it the right fortnight? That's how I think about it. Kim says, I had fun yesterday. Year 2 school excursion to the Beanley Historical Village. Do you know I've actually never been to the Historical Village at Beanley? I think Abby's been, like with the school thing, but I've actually never been. And for those of you that don't know, I live basically the next suburb to Beanley. And so we have this really beautiful historical village that lots of schools travel out to visit. They have it all set up. It's gorgeous, but I have not been. Freaky Geek has returned. Everyone must be on their best behaviour again. So no more dissing Freaky Geek while they're not here to read the comments. Okay. It's open every day from 9 to 3. Yeah, I know, Kim. I know. Those of you in Australia, don't forget to vote this week and get your democracy sausage. In Australia, you guys, our elections are held on Saturdays. It's compulsory. All Australians over the age of 18 have to vote. And quite often different charity groups will have a little barbecue set up where you can buy a sausage and a can of drink and, sausage on a bread usually with a bit of onion and some sauce. So we call them democracy sausages. They're just sausages. They're not fancy. And if you get to a polling station where they don't have democracy sausages, there are people who will leave. Literally be like, I'm going to find somewhere else to vote because I'm not going to put up with this. We are trying to vote early because we want to go away on Saturday. Tim's already voted. I have not, however. For Mother's Day, Tim and Abby, Mother's Day was last Sunday here in Australia. Tim and Abby got a new stereo installed into my car for me because we made the decision that the only real reason that we'd need to change cars is because Tim's newer car has got this fancy Android Auto and it's really good for doing stuff hands-free while you're driving, and with long-distance driving that I do, it'd be really handy to have. And, a lot more safe and a lot less chance of death while I change music while I'm on the road, which you probably shouldn't do. By changing music, I'm talking about pressing CD or radio. I'm not changing CDs or anything like that. Where are we? Black Pearl says that I'm going to try and make it to Caffeinated Crafters tonight. +1, please. Excellent. I will make sure I bring all your goodies if you would like me to. Kim's sorting that out. Good. Sausage sizzle is cool. Democracy sausage sounds dirty. First time I've heard it called that. Really, Christine? I'm not sure. Are you Australian, Christine? It's just a joke because, it's the democratic sausage sizzles. But lots of different groups do different things. So sometimes there's like Lamingtons or things like that. Andrew says trips to IKEA and Bunnings are going to be so much more fun now. Why is that? I'm not sure. Did I miss something? I don't know why they're going to be so much more fun. I mean, Bunnings always has a sausage, or just about always. But I don't know about IKEA. Oh, okay. All right. I understand now, Andrea. You're talking about the new car stereo. It's fine. It's fine. I'm catching up. Oh, sorry. Thank you, Sally. South Australian. So you guys don't call them democracy sausages there? Maybe it's a Queensland thing. I don't know. Yeah, and Andrea, the beats are thumping. My new car stereo is great. We didn't change the speakers. We just changed the in-dash bit. And I'm surprised at how much better the audio quality is, even without the new speakers. I'm really shocked. Did you get the blinky light fixed? Yes. So, Tim voted on Monday when he dropped my car back in. We were having a problem. They installed the stereo on Saturday so that I could have it in time for Mother's Day. Thank you, Tim and Abby. And they noticed that there was a you know, on your dash how you've got all the different lights. Well, the blinky light for the airbags was on. It was like, oh, okay, there's an issue with the airbags. That needs fixing. And so they took it back and they fixed it. There wasn't actually an issue. It was just a false reading, so they fixed us. Sally says, I don't think I've ever seen a sausage sizzle at a polling booth. You're going to the wrong polling booth, Sally. That's terrible. Andrew says, I'll have to sync my phone so we can listen to good music. Well, you know how I feel about that. Saying my music's not good. Christine's maiden name is Hill. Oh, that's awesome. You're practically part of the family. You're just missing your We're a Hills family here. No, I got it from someone else too. I didn't invent democracy sausage. I read it somewhere, probably like on Twitter or something. Who did I don't know. I'll find out. I'll work it out. I'll work out where I heard it. I'll work it out. So, I'm just doing my little mental rundown to make sure we have talked about all the specific things I wanted to talk about. We talked about, I've just printed all copies of my pattern there. We talked about the Fiberific limited yarns that we still have left. So we have one in the charcoal latte in the 4-ply and one in the charcoal latte in the 8-ply. And then we also have some of the crotons left. Crotons, yeah. We also have some of the crotons left, and they've just come out beautifully. I'm really happy with those. They're going to make amazing like cowls and beanies, and I actually think it probably would have been too much if it had been like this all over. Does that make it would have been too much for me anyway. So, but yeah, so we've got a few crotons left as well. So we're nearly there, but all of the farm kitty gone, and I was just like, whoa, that happened fast. So that's a color people like. And my question for you guys is, was it a color that you liked, or was it because of the story behind it? That, you know, it was this gorgeous soft gray kitty with these beautiful blue-gray eyes that is a farming cat and has no name. Is that why we loved it, or was it because of the color? I'm not sure. I'm always really curious about people's motivations and why they buy yarn. I'd say, based on the fact that the Dog Symphony is just playing all its parts, that there's someone walking down the street. Annie says, I've never heard of a democracy sausage or sausage sizzle, let alone combining one with going to vote. See, because we have to vote, we have no choice. We will be fined. I think what is the fine? $175 if we don't vote. So they, you know, different charities and stuff make it so that you've got access to something yummy while you stand in that massive line. Here we go. I think the color turned out amazing on Farm Kitty. Yeah, me too. I thought it was gorgeous. I was really hoping you guys would hate that one because I wanted it. Oh dear. Sally says I'll have to keep my eye out on Saturday to see if there's a sausage sizzle. So the other thing is our polling booths are normally in like primary schools or high schools or community halls and things like that. So there's normally someone who needs to raise some revenue. Now, even though we're not going to be including Brinjal, I'm still going to tie his ends in, just in case. It's like the emergency square. Nat says, I missed the democracy sausage and I'll be in Canberra and have to pre-vote. I think I'm going to have to miss the democracy sausages too, because we're trying to pre-vote so we can go and visit my mum because we didn't see her for Mother's Day. And her local showgrounds has big fireworks on Saturday night. So Abby wants to go and see that. But I'm like, Abby, you have to make sure that you are caught up with your assignments. Kim says, I think, no, Kim, my dad's received the fine before because he didn't vote and it was over $100. Yeah, it's definitely over 100. Where are we? Sally's is in a primary school just around the corner. Yeah, so I'd check it out, Sally. Normally the primary school's set up like a bake sale and the sausage sizzle, and they have like, you know, all sorts of things. I went to one at a primary school and they had set up the voting was down through sort of, you had to go through the hall into these other rooms. But in the hall was basically like a mini fete. It was fantastic. And it was such a clever idea. What have I done there? I split that yarn. Let me try again. How do they know if you voted or not? We have to be marked off a register and they check everybody to make sure, because we have to, like, it's just how it works. We have to enroll to vote and then you have to be marked off the register when you go to vote. Nature's Craft says, it seems wrong to me to penalise people for voting. I abstain from voting. Yeah, the US has got a very different voting system than Australia does. I mean, we're democratic, but that's as far as it goes. Gamer Widow says, our local scouts are hosting a polling station. They've got a barbecue and a cake stall, and there is a website listing all the democracy sausage locations. Thank you, Gamer Widows. I think in Australia it's one of those things where if you want to, like, it's one of those things, if you want to complain about politics, you have to take part. And so they also know it's absolutely a majority vote in your region for that member. We have a very different setup for our political stuff than you guys do, though. Very different. Failure to vote at a federal election without a valid and sufficient reason is an offence, and you're required to pay the $20 penalty. My dad's was a state government one that he didn't vote for, so maybe it happens. What happens if you refuse to pay the fine? I don't know. I don't know. I'm always, like, for me, I live here and I want the best representation for the things that I believe in, so I vote. Like, I've voted every year since I was 18. Not every year, but every election. So we vote for local council, state government, and also federal government. So, and I'm in the unenviable position of loving my local member, but not loving the party he's for. So if I vote for him, I'm voting for his party that will, you know, may or may not come into power. And so I'm like, oh, what do I do? Anyway, Dee says, we say that here in the States that if you have no business complaining if you don't vote, but that's as far as it goes. Yeah. Helen says, we sign a register when we go in, but if you leave your ballot blank, they shouldn't be able to tell you didn't vote. No, that's true. They can't. But if you've gone in all that way, we call those donkey votes here in Australia. If people go to the effort of lining up, going in, making sure they don't get their vote, and then not filling out the form or writing stuff on there that's not appropriate, then that's a donkey vote. Alison says you can still put in a blank form and that's still classed as voting. You just need to get, yeah, that's right. You just got to get your name crossed off the list. But to me, yeah, anyway, we've gone down a rabbit hole, haven't we? Australian Politics 101. I am not the person to be talking about this. Definitely not. I wove in all the ends. All the ends. That happened. All the ends happened. Oh dear. Maybe I can do some first sections. Let me look. That's the second part of the pattern. That's the third part of the pattern. I don't have the first part here. Sally says, I think they have different fines in each state. Queensland is 126. Yeah, and we're in Queensland, so. Stacey said, we forgot to vote one year. They sent a fine, maybe around $75. Pay or give us a reason. But is it a wonky donkey vote? I don't know. We have provisions to do postal or pre-votes as well. So if you have security reasons, you can do yeah, absolutely. So I can go in and vote today, even though voting day is Saturday. I think for about the last week, there's a limited selection of local places that you can go to vote. So I could go in and vote today if I wanted. Tim voted Monday, and so if you say you're working on Saturday and you can't get the day off to go and vote, or something like that. So say you've planned an international holiday and you can't vote, or for whatever reason you can't get to a voting station. There are ways around it. There's pre-poll voting. There is what's it called? Away voting. So if I was in New South Wales, I could go and vote down there, but it's a pain in the butt. Pre-vote opens about a month before the election. Oh, there you go. Thank you. But to me, it's like, a month before. We haven't heard all the promises yet, have we? We haven't heard them like, please vote for us. This has gotten very political. Now, I don't have the instructions, so I'm going to see if I can remember how to do it. I'll bring up a previously made square and see. I don't think I'm going to be able to remember, because it's been ages since I did the middle. Anybody tries to force me to vote for any party is going to... Yeah, we're not forced to vote for any particular party. You can become a member of a party if you want. That is not compulsory. There sounds like a truck outside my house. I don't know if it kept moving or not. I'm expecting a Chow-Gu order. So, it could be that. Gamer Widow says, technically your employer must allow you time to go vote if you're working. My manager actually drove me to vote when I was at Mars. That's awesome. Yeah, and that's the thing. You are supposed to be allowed the time to vote, but you don't always get the time. D. Thompson says, your yarn is beautiful. Thank you, D. And I love the little bee. Beautiful. I'm going to try. No, I don't want to. I am going to try and... Hang on. I'm going to try... Can somebody please send me a link to the page? Oh, no, I'm so nervous about doing this. I just need the first section. It's a magic square and then 12 trebles. I'm just going to try that first. We'll see how it looks. 3mm hook. It's interesting to see how different countries run the voting process. Yeah, it's really interesting. Actually, do you know what? I've been dying to use this one, so I'm going to go first with this one. That's the middle. I want to go from the outside because you guys, look at this ball. Isn't that dreadful? That's what made me clean my ball winder. Hey, Andy Sanders, welcome to the chat. When I opened my ball winder, it didn't look very dirty, but when I started giving it a wipe, I started noticing sort of like that, when you've just cleaned out your dryer and you've still got that little bit of like soft lint around the lint thing. That is where I noticed that kind of like, it's a fuzz nearly. And I also noticed around the bottom where the little bit spins was really quite dark. And I'm like, are you supposed to be dark or you're not supposed to be dark? So I gave it just a little clean with some, what are you? I can't remember what it's called. It's like it's not an isopropyl. It is something like an isopropyl. A cleaner that will not leave a residue. And so I gave it a little clean with that and I was like, okay, you're definitely not supposed to be black. So I gave it a good clean just with a cotton tip and some isopropyl or something similar. and just gave it a little clean as much as I could, and then re-oiled it, just a dab of nice clean spinning wheel oil. If you've got sewing machine oil, be very careful, only use the tiniest amount. Even gun oil, whatever you've got that's very clean, very fine oil, and just the smallest dab, and just keep it going. And so that's how I ended up getting back to this. So I went from that to this just by cleaning my ball winder. Where are we? We've got Sally accidentally timed out. Oh no, can we, I don't know if I can untime it. Let's see. Hang on. No, I can't untime you. I'm sorry, Nature's Crafts. It was an accident. It just, the chat sometimes moves quickly. Sorry about that. Andrea sent me the pattern link in my messenger, but I can't open Messenger without opening Facebook. Oh, I'll try. Hang on. I'm going to do it on my phone, you guys. Let's hope Messenger, because this is all using the same internet. So I just want to see the first bit. Here we go. First bit. Chain 5, then treble 11 times. Okay, did you guys all crash? I hope you didn't crash. Where are we? Were you at the, Natalie wants to know if Andy was at the global hookup on Sunday. Sally was trying to delete her own message. Oh, that's terrible. Thank you. All right. We're going to try this. I've got to find the outside edge. But yes, the importance of keeping your tools in good working order. Now, the thing is, not all, I didn't crash. Thank you, you guys. Not all ball winders can be serviced. Now, that's the thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Okay. And if your ball winder is one of those ones with the sealed unit, then don't force it, because you may make it worse. But if, thank you, Andrea, pop the first line of the pattern into the chat for me. You're a champion. Yeah, so you've got to be careful and aware of what equipment you have. Now, the picture on Instagram of the ball winder I've got open there, that's just my little $20 job from Knit Picks, and it's just great. Kim says my new ball winder is open, so you can just blow on it after use. What ball winder do you have, Kim? Because if you've got like one of those shacked ball winders, which is the rectangular one that you wind that way, those ones are really easy to keep clean. Your hook matches your yarn. Oh, it does too. That's 2 projects now that I've got where my hook matches my yarn. I've got also my, oh, there's a chicken at the door, you guys. I've also got my cowl that I'm working on in the purple or the violetish Leo 2 versus the 4mm clover hook, which is also purple. Lindsay says hers is a Knit Picks as well. Yeah, so there's so when you look at your ball winder, I don't have mine out here, so I can't point it out. But you can take out that little center cone, and right in there is a screw with a Phillips head screw. You can just undo that screw and just put all that to the side. If the screw's got like a little flint, like a little washer, and you just keep that to the side, keep it all together, give that a little wipe down. And then when you open up and have a look, try not to move anything too much around. Make sure that your white cog bit is all lined up in its little windy bit. I don't know any of the words, guys. I don't. You should know that by now. And just give it a little dust down, a little wipe. And if the actual right down the bottom where the white, there's a white thing, a little white cog winder thing. I don't know. If that's dark, give it a clean, because it should be a bit lighter than black. Mine was black. It was pretty filthy. But try not to force any movement. just be gentle cleaning, and if you give it a little wind, you can clean the next bit, wind the next bit, and just use the actual handle on the winder. When you start forcing things is where you can start causing damage, and our equipment is too expensive or too necessary to risk breaking it. Kim has that huge Stanwood needlecraft winder. Okay, is that the big metal one that makes lots of noise? Hang on, so what have we got here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. I've done too many because I'm talking and counting, not working. Okay, then join with the slip stitch into the chain 5. Slip stitch. Can you guys see what I'm doing here okay? And then we go slip stitch into the space. Dunskies. Chain 1. SC. Then chain 4. Okay. Annie loves her Knit Picks ball winder. I love mine too. Look, I've also got, so if I'm just making a ball for me, I just use my little Knit Picks one. It's handy. It's in the house. But I've also got my Nancy's Knickknacks one here, which don't know if you can see. Massive wooden job. It's motorized. So if I'm doing up a big batch of yarn, or probably I should have pulled it out for these, but I was just sitting there watching Netflix at the dining table, winding balls of yarn. So, but if I'm doing like a big run, like if say the Mystery Lace Club is going out as wound balls, then I will plug in the motorized one and get it going. Chintami says I've got a cheap non-brand one from eBay that works well, about $30. That's actually really good value, Chintamani. It's mostly metal, but it doesn't make a lot of noise. I don't think so. Oh, that's good. Did I miss a question? Did someone ask a question? Bubs is asking a question. Hang on. I'm just seeing what Bubs' question was. Do you have a 2.25 in the lace combo? Bub, I know. I forgot to check, didn't I? I'll have to have a look. I don't think I do. I think I've got a 3 mil. Helen, you just put in, you just go to knitpicks.com and look at their ball winder. It's their purple base model ball winder. It's inexpensive, and if you're in the US, it's really inexpensive. Nature's Craft is back. I'm so sorry, Nature's Craft. It was totally an accident. Sally, Kim is offering to spanner Sally for you, if that would make you feel better. Oh dear. Kathleen Chance made it to the chat. Hey Kathleen. We are talking all sorts of things today, as usual. We never stay on topic. We have discussed the Fibrific Limited, so that the only yarns that will go into Fibrific Limited at this stage, and it may change going forward, but at this stage will be the live dye yarns, just to make them stand out a little bit more, be a bit more noticeable, so that you know that you've got something very special. Chris Bragg has been busy playing with her new sewing machine. That sounds like fun, Chris. Hang on a second. Chain 4, join to the top of the first SC, and then fasten off. Thanks. I'm up to this bit. Is that a color change now? You guys are the best, honestly. I should have brought out the extra bit of pattern. So fasten off. And I think that's right. I think after that, yeah, after that we go into white. So I'm going to do this bit in all the colors. Chintami is hers is a red and blue one. Red and white. Yeah, so the red and white, the blue and whites, I know the blue and whites used to be royal, but now I don't think they're always royal. Whoops, it's a magic loop, Chantel. With a 5-chain start. Messy. Come on, I botched it. I'm going to try again. Nature's Craft, my ball winder is my mum. Kim says, I have an electric ball winder, biggest waste of money. Which ball winder did you get? I love my Nancy's Knickknack electric. You didn't get that boy one, did you? because that one's dreadful. I've not heard a single good thing about that boy's side winder thing. Okay, yellow is going okay. All right, you guys have to make sure I just don't go off and make like 14,000 of these. She really keeps finding my yarn bath and forming balls. She's a ball winding machine. That's awesome. It was a Christmas present, but I just bought it. It was for a few stitches, but having tension issues. Oh, on your new sewing machine. Oh, that's so frustrating. It took me a little while to realize that you could tension the bobbins separately to the top on my sewing machine, and yeah, it took me a while. Kim says I got 1,000,000 years ago. Okay. Andrew says my clothes hoist and a cardboard tube is my ball winder. I'll get a Swift one day. Yes, you will. Is your blanket in 4-ply? Yes, it is. I'm using the Pegasus. This is all Pegasus yarn. I really love working with this Pegasus yarn. You know, when you kind of like, I was so sad. I was so sad. And like, I think I even cried when I found out I could not get the sunflower yarn anymore. And I was like, nothing's ever going to be as good as sunflower ever again. It's the end of the world as we know it. Turns out I actually really like Pegasus. And I actually think I like Pegasus more, which is that bad? I don't think it's bad. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2 more. But yeah, so this blanket kit will be in the Pegasus in these 12 colors. It's going to be $3.20 at this stage. You'll get 12 50-gram balls of all our colors here, and you'll also get 3 in the grey and 300-gram skeins in the grey and 300-gram skeins in the cream. I'm just double checking that. You might get 4, but I have to double check it. Kim says I have sunflower on my shelf. I'm going to hoard it forever. So are you going to be that person who goes, I get to use the very last skein of sunflower yarn in existence? Alright, I gotta count again, guys. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Nope. Alright. Twink. Pull that in. Chain 1 and into the 5th chain. Slip, stitch, and then do this. Andrew says I have a few skeins of sunflower, but the Pegasus is just beautiful to work with. Yeah, it really is. Like, I liked sunflower, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to bag it at all because I liked it. Nature's Crafts. So what happened, you must have missed when I said it. I checked the pattern before because I'd printed it out for somebody and there was an issue with it. And so I'm just fixing it up and then I'll get it up. It's not ready is the answer to that question, Kim. So I thought it was all ready. And I realized that I didn't put any of the information in about changing hook sizes or doing any of that stuff. So I've got to add all that in. And I just, with Mystery Lace Club and also the Marja Craft, because I was going to fix it all up yesterday and I ended up spending half a day updating my website instead. But it's coming. It's coming. It'll be here soon. I really like how this yellow is coming out in this little floret. I must have hit refresh about 400 times. I'm sorry, Nature's Crafts. Yeah, I would recommend any yarn. You can use any yarn you really want and use a nice big hook for that yarn. But I recommend a nice fluffy yarn. And then using a larger hook than you intend to go on with. I found that I definitely prefer the cowl that is being done that way. A bird tried to accost Nature's Crafts while she was filming today. Is your ball winder a Nancy's Knickknacks one? Yes, one of my ball winders is a Nancy's Knickknacks one. One of them is not. I have 2 ball winders. And that is the end of the Lello. Bing! I leave fairly long tails, so it's easier for me to wind them in later. We've done these 2. I'm going to move them down to the basket. Get these out of the way. Get this out of the way. My motorized ball winder is my Nancy's Knickknacks, but it can also be taken off the motor and just used with the hand crank, because what I did was when I bought it, I initially bought it as a manual ball winder and saved up more money because it's very expensive. Saved up more money and then bought the motorized section, which was the best thing I ever did. If you have to wind lots and lots of balls of yarn, like business level balls of yarn, I highly recommend motorized ball winder. And I love it, love it, love it so much. It makes beautiful balls. It's easy on your hands. See, a lot of things I look at how easy it is on my body. And I used to have one of those gorgeous flat strouch. Is that the one? Strouch or shacked? Strouch. But I found that when I was winding balls like this on this angle, it was hurting my elbows so much and my shoulder. Whereas when I wind a ball this way, it didn't. So Sally says, how many meters for your cowl? I have 38 meters of yellow lace. It's not fluffy. 38 meters. The reality is it's one of those things that you can use as much or as little as you want. But I used a whole skein of the Leo 2, which was about 400-ish meters, 420, around there somewhere. I have to double check. So it just depends on what you've got. And the second one I've made is quite a bit longer than the first one. I think I would prefer to go somewhere in the middle, but I'll get some photos and some measurements for you. Emma Bow is in the chat. Hey, Emma, absolutely better late than never. Nature's Craft says, I swear to God, I'm never doing a year-long temperature blanket ever again. Look, I've got mixed emotions about the temperature blankets. I love the idea. I think the concept is fantastic. But the reality is I'm never going to be able to sit down and do that sort of like every day of that. See, 185 single crochets. That's too much for me. I'd be more inclined to do a knee rug in really chunky yarn. It'd have to be super chunky yarn. Because I have the attention span of a guppy. And I'm like, yep, bored now, on to the next project. Because have you guys seen me finish Abby's chevron in the teal and the grey yet? No, because I haven't. Because it's in the corner. Because I'm bored with it. I'm doing this one instead because it's exciting. And it's fun. And I'm still not bored. And I'm like halfway through the squares. So speaking of which, next square. This is our new red. Love this red so much. I'm really enjoying the intensity of it. It's hard to get a good red. This took so much dye. So, but I'm loving the intensity of it and the color fastedness of it. So yeah, it's not good. Nature's Craft is legit insane and persevering. I'm glad to hear it. Lindsay says, I never made it past April on my temperature blanket last year. That was too long of a commitment. That would be me. That would absolutely be me. For sure. For sure. I'm doing squares for my temperature blanket. I normally work on it once or twice every 2 weeks. Kim is being naughty and trying to divert my guppy-like attentions. Kim says, Helen says, I don't think I'd be able to do the current year, but if I had the info for last year, I believe I could. That's actually a really good point, Helen, because I think I agree with you there. Whereas like trying to work out, okay, today's top temperature was this, but actually going back and looking at the previous year, it's nearly like a full pattern. So on the days where you've got time and you could do like a week's worth, you could do a week's worth of dates, no problems, and sort of get ahead. But I agree with you for sure. Sherry Downey says, I've made 2 temperature blankets and I ended up using on the bed and the couch for the dogs. Is that because you didn't like them, or is that just because that was going to be their purpose? Sherry, if you're the Sherry I think you are, your parcel shipped yesterday, FYI. You should have received an email from me with your tracking number, but I heard from a friend last night that she never got her email and tracking for a parcel I shipped to her. So we are a little stressed out about why my website is not sending the automated emails to everybody, just some people. Game Widow says, I've seen some for birth years of kids. That's a brilliant idea as well. I love that. I would actually be more inclined to do that for Abby. Be like, I made this because these were the dates of your year. And actually start it on their birthday. So, and then do it for the 12-month period after that. So let me look here. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. One more. They claim them. Yes, oh, you did receive it. Excellent. Thank you. I'm glad to hear, Sherry. I'm glad to hear. I'm a little particularly stressed about it at the moment because I'm like, I don't know what's going on because it should just be working. And it's not a process I have any control over. That's hinky. We'll fix it up. Go there. And then slip into there. Then chain 1. SC1. Then 4. Chris Bragg says, I started one last year, but it's a lot of work. I need to go back to it at some point. Yeah, and that's the general story I hear for most people is they start it, they have every good intention, they have all their yarn all sorted out for all the different colours, and then for whatever reasons, generally just life, it goes to the wayside and it never gets finished. And because of the nature of how they're made, you kind of can't reclaim the yarn very easily. So, Kathy says, I'm making a temperature blanket for a baby that was born the 5th of October, 5 more months to go. Oh, that's a great idea, Kathy. I love it. Sally says, I'm enjoying the temperature blanket because I can put it down and get back to it whenever, so long as I remember to record the temperature in my diary, I'm all good. See, I think that's where Helen's idea works, and that is that you can just print out the whole sort of thing. You can, decide, okay, I'm going to print out this year's dates. I mean, another option would be to actually do like a weekly average and do them as squares and just have like 52 squares. Oops, 4, not 5, Chantal. Annie says YouTube was misbehaving, so I did a restart. Is anybody else having problems, or was it an Annie problem, or is it a me problem? Chris says it was a wild year for temperatures last year too. Yeah, absolutely. Nature's Craft said, I can't do that. I'd fall behind fatally. I like that. Oh, man. These little things are so cute. I think, and this is what's keeping my interest with this pattern, is all these little sections are just totally cute, and I just love, and this is how I did the first 2 squares, just did the square, went on. Then I did the next 4 squares like this, where I actually went in and did all of the colors in this section, then went through and did all the cream of the next row and backwards and forwards that way. And I found that I got through the squares to the same point a dash faster because I wasn't changing colors backwards and forwards. And also you kind of get to remember what that round's going to be, so you just jump in. Kim says, for all the Aussies, you can look up historical weather data on the BOM. That's a Bureau of Meteorology, for those of you that don't know. So yeah, I need to top up my tea because it's quite cold and nearly empty. Sally says, mine is a C to C. Hang on, I'll just stop pouring for a second. Mine is squares that I'm putting together like a C to C, only 3 rounds for the squares. Okay. I think this is going to be very hot now because I didn't have much cold in the bottom. I'm going to burn my face. You ready? Okay, it was bearable. It was bearable. Okay, beautiful red in the basket. Oh, where are we? Here is the end. Let's not tie a knot in it. Let's not do that. Let's not tie a knot. How did that even happen? There we go. We're good. There's nothing to see here. It's all fine. It's all fine. There are many, many, many ways to magic loop, and you just got to do the way that is comfortable for you. And this is the way I do it. So it may not be the way that you're all used to seeing, just so that you know it's definitely magic loop. Did I I DC'd instead of trebled that first stitch because I'm a numpty. Sally's going to put up picture on the Facebook group. So if you guys want to share photos of your blankets that you're working on over on the Fibrific Fun Zone, where I'd be very happy to see them for sure. I might even be inspired. I want to finish this one first. I want it to put on the wall at Bendigo. That's my goal. I want to hang it up at the Bendigo Sheep and Wool Show, up on the wall, to showcase the beautiful new colours coming out of the Fibrific dye house, shed, shack, patio. It's a patio. I dye on the patio. But these are all repeatable colours, which is something that it's fairly new for me. I tend to do a couple of repeatable colours, but mostly things like this that's one of a kind. And so I got tired of the phone calls and the messages of like, hey, I really love this colour. Can I please order more? And me have to go, no, I'm sorry. I have no idea how I dyed that. And it's fine to have a few colours like that, but when you realise that the majority of your colours were like that, it becomes a sort of hit in the face with a chair moment where you're where you realise that you do need to change how you do things. And that was my hit in the face with the chair moment, was I just had one too many calls about people wanting more of the same colour. And I'm okay if I can be like, oh no, look, you know, I've got this limited range of non-repeatable colours and that was one of them. I can't do anything to help you. But when I realised it was happening so often, people wanting to make sweaters out of my beautiful yarn, which just blew me away. I've done it again. Look at this. I have to go back and pull them all out because I did a treble in there. Or a double crochet for our US friends. Wrong stitch in the middle, fixing it. I could do a finish along to motivate me because that worked so well last time. It didn't. I did not finish a single thing. But lots of you did. I believe you should all have everyone except for one person should have their prizes, because I literally just remembered there's one I have not posted out. So I'll fix that and get that posted. Not today because I'm not posting today, but I'll do it tomorrow. Gamer Widows is off. Bye, Gamer Widows. Have fun. Autocorrect is drunk. Autocorrect is always drunk. Like, I just want to say that never in text messages to friends am I typing the word duck. You know, it's not the case. And autocorrect is obsessed with ducks. And you freaky geek, I believe you didn't actually get a prize because you didn't win a prize because you didn't put anything in the finish along, you cheeky pants. Was it Joss? She's coming tonight. I've got Joss's prize here. So Joss is a second person, but I've got hers ready to go. I didn't forget Joss. I had to dye something for Joss. Hang on, I've got to count, you guys. Stop talking to me. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 2 more. Then again, I have no idea what the prize is for. So last year we ran the Fibrific finish along, and there was a little prize pool at the end for people to win prizes to get goodies. And as usual in Chantel fashion, I was very slack in getting those prizes out to people. It took me a while to work out who was winning the prizes, and now I know how to do that a lot better. That won't take as long ever again. But yeah, I was particularly bad. My dad's phone autocorrects 2 to TomTom. Really? That's got to be annoying. I suppose there are knit temperature blankets, although the time involved makes me cringe a little. Look, I don't know. The only temperature blankets I've ever seen have all been crochet. I mean, that's not to say there aren't knit ones. It just means that I haven't seen them. Does that mean it's been cold? Lots of blue. Yeah. 2, 3, 4. I love this color. I'm not a pink person, but this is the lipstick and it looks so nice. And it's like that step between the purple and the pink, but without you realizing it's that step until you put a purple next to it. I love it. I think it's great. Totally biased. looks like, sounds like someone put in a shortcut more so than autocorrect. Yeah. I've got to work out how to do text shortcuts on a Google keyboard, because I know how to do it on my Samsung keyboard, but I want to know how to do it on my Google keyboard. Oh, you guys, I did something funny last night. So, have to share. Sorry. It's totally random. Like, we never talk about random stuff at all, ever. No. Abby and I had yoga last night, our first one that we went to, which we'll be going back to because it was really nice. But because of the timing of our session, it just sort of meant that dinner was going to be weird. So I was like, right, I'm going to get Dad to cook dinner. And Abby was just like, what? And I'm like, Dad's biggest issue is he doesn't know timing, like when to start the next thing and, get it ready so that all the food's hot at the same time. And she was like, yeah. So what I did was I actually scheduled all these different text messages. And I had them so that it was like, I was like, 6:15, dinner, turn on the pot of water, because I had the pots and everything all laid out on the stove. They were like, there was water in the mashed potato pot. We were having, what do we have? We had sausages, mashed potato, corn on the cob, broccoli, and gravy is what we had for tea. And so I had everything all laid out, but it was all cold because we were going out. Like, dinner needed to start cooking like 10 minutes after we left, and then Tim got home, so it was up to him. So anyway, it was he got this first text message saying, hey, can you please get some things sorted for dinner? The first thing you need to do is get this pot boiling. And so and I was in this yoga class, and I was wearing my my watch that tells me my text message, and it was like, and it was just replied with done, and I was like, okay, that's cool. And then the next message was like, I don't know what time, sort of 20 minutes later. No, the first message was peel the potatoes on the bench, because I had all the potatoes laid out with the peeler and then diced them up. And then he was like, that was done. And I'm like, now boil the water. And then he was like, are these messages sent on a schedule? Because I'd actually called each one. I was like, dinner, and then wrote something. And so, yeah, I had all these messages for it. And we got home. The potato was cooked. The sausages were just about done. I just had to do I just basically needed to make up a little gravy and also do the veggies, which I was putting in the microwave to steam. So it was like 10 minutes after walking in the door, I've served up dinner. And my dad, who's staying here, who's just like, how did this happen? I'm like, it was Tim. Tim did all this. And Dad was just blown away. And he was like, I didn't think, you let Tim into the kitchen very often. I'm like, no, I don't. But on this particular occasion, I needed some help. Don't these look adorable? These colours, man. These colours. Oh, I love them so much. Especially this orange sherbet. I'm sticking with orange sherbet. The orange sherbet is so sweet. I can just imagine a little girl's dress made out of that. Abby would not wear it now because she's 14. But little girl, I can totally see getting about in an orange sherbet dress. Get over there, you. I'll start again. So, hubby rang for a chat. He forgot live was on. I'll need to have words with him. Thanks, Andrea, for letting me know. Oops. Nature's Crafts says that it gives a duck emojis. That's hilarious. How about spinning temperature challenge? I don't know anything about the spinning temperature challenge, Alison. What's it about? I nearly did it again. I nearly did another double crochet instead of a treble crochet. US trebles, you guys. And he says, yes, those colors. I know. I'm like, and look, honestly, I really just, it's bizarre, right? Like, I know I dyed these colors, but I look at them, I normally look at them in a pile of like all this color or all this color. But when I see them like together like this, I'll just be like, ah, so nice. Kathleen loves the orange and the raspberry sherbet. Which one's a raspberry sherbet, Kathleen? Oh, Alison says it's not actually like nothing that's out there. It's just an idea she has. I think that's a great idea, especially if you want to get back into the swing of spinning and you just need like a little motivation. Um, and yeah, that's an idea, Jackie, that like a set number of grams in a particular color each day, like for a particular temperature. The hard thing would be getting enough of each color. Shintami says that would take me so many years to do. I'm so slow at spinning. I've just realized I've been putting 2 chains between these instead of 1, like a numpty. It's what happens when you talk while you're working on a trickier pattern. You make the mistakers. The one to the far right under your hook hand. Oh, this is lipstick. But yes, it does look a little raspberry-ish, doesn't it? Yes, but I call it lipstick. Don't know why I call it lipstick. I just do. I've got a colour called Raspberry Beret, and it's a bit different. So I think that's why I went with lipstick for this one, just to make it stand out a dash. I've just tried spinning for the first time, and I haven't got the hang of it yet. That in itself is a challenge right now for me. Yes, like just learning a new skill. Like if you're not a knitter and you go and learn knitting, new skill. If you're not a crocheter and you learn crocheting, like all of these are new skills. I use different muscles and spinning and weaving. Again, while they're all yarn crafts, it's a new skill, and you have to allow everything the opportunity to learn. Your muscles need to learn for your new skills. I've actually been like, because you guys know I watch a lot of education channels for YouTube and things like that to try and make all this stuff work and to look better and just try to make sure I title things properly. I try to do the best I can. But one of the things I've been noticing is they all talk about how you need to niche down within your niche, and it's because like I know that there's channels that are specifically for crocheters, and they've got like they bring out some beautiful content, and everyone who watches it is a crocheter and loves it. And same for knitters. And I realized I'm pretty not niche. I am a fiber a yarn craft channel more than a fiber craft channel, but a yarn craft channel where I knit, crochet, and sometimes spin. And I wanted to know, does that bug you guys? Do you like see a video and go, oh, she's doing that, I'm not interested? Or do you not mind? Because I'm like, you're here, I'm captured audience. Kathleen says, oh, gotcha. I'd call it raspberry sherbet just because of the orange sherbet. Then you need a lime sherbet and a lemon and coconut. That's how they come packaged. Oh, I get it now. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 2 more. So you guys are sort of like my test group, because you are the hardcore Fiberifians who join in for the live chats. So you guys are the ones who matter, really. You're the support, and you're the ones there's a lot of you that support me over on Patreon, and you guys are here week on week. So I try to make sure I cover stuff that you guys will learn and that you all like. Raspberry Beret, like the song. Yes, like the song. Oh, there we go. Yes, Alison's talking about her idea for the spinning temperature challenge. Bub Curran loves the different kinds of crafts. Thank you, Bub. Where are we? I enjoy watching whatever you're working on, but I'm multi-stitchable as well. I enjoy learning and seeing other things as well. Black Pearl Knit says, no, I love the variety since I'm a new learner. Sally says as soon as she mentioned it, it started singing. Portuguese purling is awesome. I haven't tried the Portuguese purling yet, Donna. I've really got it, don't I? Oh, well, I'm glad that you guys find it enjoyable rather than confusing, because some people do get, confused. Am I in I feel like I'm missing something. The people next door have just arrived with what sounds like a load of tin that they're removing from their truck or something. It's very loud. Hang on, I've just got to check. I need to slip stitch into there, then chain one, and then single crochet, and then chain four. Rebecca Nelson's just started spinning again, currently spinning some suri on her little Turkish spindle. That's gorgeous. Well, I'm glad that you guys don't find my mixed content confusing. Makes it not boring. Oh, that's good too. And every now and again I sit here thinking, especially considering how much I've been working on that crochet cowl and this blanket, and I think, are we going to crochet at the moment? The advantage is that we should be able to bring in a live dye session every month again now, because the temperatures are dropping here, so the overheat is not going to be an issue. We haven't had to add anything to the list for a while. Is that the Drive Chantel Up the Wall list? No, I think it's been pretty good. Can you guys hear that noise? That's so loud, honestly. It's so loud. Yesterday, they pulled up, jumped out of their car, and turned the music up so loud that we could not hear our television in our lounge room. Yeah, Sally says that's why it's fiberific. Oh, thank you, Sal. Freaky Geek has to go and buy a Turkish spindle because the one that he made fell apart. That's frustrating, but yeah, it's definitely definitely a thing to purchase. I highly recommend the Scott Snyder spindles. They are amazing. If you guys can hear the banging, yeah, I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised at all. I'm drawn to your channel because of the level of interaction and the sense of community. Catering to knit and crochet is a bonus. Oh, thank you, Kirby. I have to say, I went off to that YouTuber meetup, and one of my mentors was there, and so we had a little chat. And because that's Justin, who pops in here every now and again, and even he's blown away by the level of engagement of you guys, like how you all interact with each other, how we ended up making the Fiberific Fun Zone so that you could all keep interacting. And I thought that was just so cool that even he would even just say that you guys are awesome, because I personally think you're fantastic. But having someone from the outside look in and go, you've got a really good bunch of people here to chat with every week. And I really look forward to live streams. Like, there's some parts of my job that I'm just like, oh, pricing, how boring. Or skein twisting, so many skeins. But when it comes to the live chats, I'm always like, I'm live chatting today. I got to get all this stuff. What am I going to show? And I'm excited for it. Yeah. I hear sounds for change. Normally, I only hear the hosts. I think I've missed something there, Freaky. Chris Bread, I like you for you. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Oh, thank you, Chris. That's beautiful. Kathleen says that's a bugger what people do that, but I love to hear when a great song comes on the radio, and I can hope out to dance along. Needs to be loud, fun once more. Look, I agree with you. I'm okay with it on occasion, but I have to be really careful because I can hear they've turned the music on now. So I'm really going to have to watch, because I might have to just run and shut all the doors, because if YouTube pick up the music, our stream gets stopped. So if you guys can hear any music, you tell me, so I can just shut doors and windows, because we will be like, it'll be bad. It'll be very bad for me. It'll be like a community strike. I'm drawn to your channel because I have stalker tendencies, and it's easier for me to stalk someone who lives close. That's a very good point, Kim. Yes. Yes, you do have stalker tendencies. Gosh. Yes, definitely. Kim is an excellent stalker, you guys. She is terrifying. Yeah. if yeah, we'll have to have like some sort of code word for if I'm not safe anymore. What if I hear the music in my head? Well, I'm hoping that it's not the same song as whatever they'll end up playing next door that will destroy our stream. Oh, now they're using a grinder. That's fantastic. Okay, guys, I'm going to just pop. Oh, look, I've just looked at the time, and I'm gonna finish this square, and then we're gonna head off, because we are at our time mark. Kathleen says, you know, I've noticed other channels have store music on. They never get flagged. I don't know why they target some and not others. There are songs that you can use from YouTube that they have like a playlist that you can use that are all safe. So there is safe music that you can use. And the other thing is if you're monetized, which I am, this channel's monetized, you are more likely to get flagged. But the reality is it comes down to different things. Don't they know you're doing a live? They do know, actually. I have asked for every Thursday morning for them to please not. But they're not as nice as the boys who were in the shed when we were there. Kim says, I was wondering how long you would go for. See, now I don't have because I'm using different software, I don't have the little clock timer telling me how long I've been running for. I've actually got to look at the time. Sally didn't want to say anything either. You guys are the worst. You're absolutely the worst. I'm trying to be here, trying to be good and not waste your time and not hog your time. I know how precious time is. And you guys are all like, let's sneaky see how long she'll stream for. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11. And that's great. That is. It's really good. I do like it. But I also know that if I do it once, you're going to be all like, well, you did it last week. Why can't you do it next week, Kim? Donna's talking, sorry, Bob's talking to Donna, but the poll said 2 hours. Oh my gosh, I would love to be able to talk for that long, but you can already hear that I'm starting to get raspy again. 35 watching, 39 likes. Nice odds. Yeah, it's not bad, is it? Is it, Freaky Geek? What it is probably someone was watching, liked, and left. So, Freaky Geek wouldn't mind 4 hours. Donna says, I tried the knitting backwards. I just can't seem to get it. I think of it as knitting left and knitting right. But I'm a continental knitter, so I don't know if that'll make a difference for you. Is there a pattern or a toot for these sweetie squares? For these squares here, is that what you're talking about? Because this is the Charlotte's Dream pattern. There is absolutely very extensive written patterns as well as some beautiful tutorials to follow that make things very clear. I highly recommend. I actually watched the tutorial to get this bit sorted, and I watched it to start this the first time as well. Don't have links handy, so mods can toss in links. There's a link further. That's right. If you so yeah, we'll put links into the fun zone as well. You're just too entertaining. I don't know about that, Addie Day. I don't know about that. But yeah. So it's the Charlotte's Dream pattern. If you just Google Charlotte's Dream, it'll come up. And also if you just search for Charlotte's Dream in YouTube here, the video tutorials will come up as well. It's a bit yarn hungry. The pre-order for the kits will be out soon. I won't have proper pictures just yet because I'm not finished really. But once I get done, I'll get some proper pictures up. But it's more of for me to get an idea of how many of you actually want the kit. Because I'm aware it's not an inexpensive kit, but it's beautiful to work with. So, you know, I'm trying to accept the fact that people like my yarn. So, are you tapping your foot? No? Are you, should I be? Is something happening? Is something shaking, is there? Maybe something was shaking. Kathleen's Tamp says it's gorgeous. Thank you, Kathleen. So on that note, we're nearly at the end of this last little. No proper pics yet, so that means they are naughty right now in the pics. That's exactly right. Freaky, naughty. Are you okay, Annie? Can't wait, saving my pennies. That's awesome, Annie. So we'll get these kits sorted. I do just want to double confirm. Off the top of my head, I thought I'd already worked out that I only needed 3 grey, but for some reason yesterday my brain was like, no, we're going to need 4. And I was just like, wait, what now? So I want to finish off some more sections and see how it goes. But I've been doing the mathing, and I don't want to send you guys the wrong amounts of yarn, because that would just be totes dreaders. Hashtag totes dreaders. Because, you know, oh, it's like, oh yeah, sure, let's buy this really expensive kit, and I will, yeah. I don't know how to say your name. Is it Shona? Shona Butcher? Please tell me I haven't destroyed your name. It's her first ever live chat. I need to read the guidelines, but hello, I've been subscribed for a while and I'm interested in the Lacy Club too. It's basically be nice is the only real rules, basic YouTube guidelines. We talk yarn, and if you're interested in the Mystery Lace Club, hit up the Fibrific website and there's all the information that you need is on there. We have fun. There we go. I've got the purple done. That's the violetish is done. So you guys, we did it. Shauna, sorry Shauna, thank you for typing that phonetically for me. I didn't want to destroy your name. It's so beautifully spelt. Freaky Geek says, I think I knitted 4 rows. Chris and Freaky are off. Bye, guys. Have a good night. I'm also heading off, you guys. Thank you so much for joining into the Mystery Lace Club. No, what am I saying? It's because Mystery Lace Club just popped up. Thank you for joining into today's live chat. The replay will be here. And I'm glad I got this done. The noise next door is driving me completely up the wall. I'm sorry, I'm finding it very hard to concentrate. And I will catch you all next time. Jump into the Fibrific Fun Zone if you want to keep chatting. So, yeah, I will talk to you all later. Bye.